Good morning, everyone. How is everyone today? I have to do the initial, make sure everything looks okay where it's supposed to be. So how's everybody on this Thursday? Excited for the weekend. I have been super busy. Let's see here, go in and invite a few people here. So, yeah, I was telling you guys the other day that I have 3 grandchildren in baseball right now, and the little ones haven't started yet, but my oldest grandson has started. And so we had a game Monday, and then Tuesday I did our crafting class. I made a Beltane crown. And then last night we had another baseball game, and we didn't get home till like 8:30, so Eric and I were eating supper at 9 o'clock and both exhausted. And I stayed up to try to do my homework for the next class, which I'm going to have to go back and kind of review because I don't know if I was fully awake. And so then I was doing my notes for today's class. Yeah, it's been busy. And then tonight we're going out for supper. And then Friday, I don't have any plans, but I'm like 4 classes behind. I didn't do the holographic class. I didn't do the Beltane class last night, and I didn't do opening ceremony last night because I was just too tired by the time I got home to do all that, plus make sure everything was ready for this morning. And then on Friday is another bonus class for making a honey jar, which I've done that once, but I love doing them again. And then on Sunday, which is 5/5, is a manifesting class, which is what we're going to kind of talk about today, is manifesting. But and then so I've got to fit all of those classes in like Saturday and Sunday somehow, and still been working crazy overtime at work. So needless to say, been busy and tired, and didn't get much sleep last night because even though I'm tired, I get to bed in between my own insomnia and the dog kicking me and my husband snoring. I didn't get much sleep, but funny enough, when I got up this morning, I checked, because I have one of those, it's not a Garmin, but it's the Samsung version of like the Fitbit. I checked it this morning to see how much sleep I got last night, and I got 5 hours and 55 minutes, which is like the whole manifesting thing right now is 5/5. So I thought that was, although I didn't think it was cool I only got 5 hours of sleep, I do think it was cool that the sleep I got was 5 hours and 55 minutes. So just kind of goes with our whole manifesting conversation today. So everybody's been invited. I will show you, it's, I don't know, I think I got to go back over it with some glue. But this is the Beltane crown I made. So it sits like this. But I really feel like I need to fasten those crystals a little bit better. And I might add some more stuff to it. I don't know. We'll see now that it's caught in my hair. But yeah, it was getting all the crystals together and the glue to dry took a long time. And so while that was drying, I wrapped the ribbons and things like that. But then I tried to get the crystals to stay on the ribbon, but it's kind of hard to get crystals to stay on a ribbon and be secure. So I'm not quite sure how else I can do that. I was thinking about maybe wire wrapping, but I don't know. I'm not very good at wire wrapping. So anyway, that was the crown I made. I did start a new photo album in the group called Crafting. So I'm going to start to try to put some pictures in there of the different things that we make. Again, I can't always buy all the candles for all the different ceremonies, so I make them. Actually, really, my husband makes them, but I go and I print out the pictures, and then my husband has like a double-sided sticky paper that he does, and then I usually try to decorate them somehow because I just can't afford to buy all the candles. And then I put my own oils and things in the candles to kind of make it scented. But it's just really the white candles you get at the dollar store. So speaking of candles, it's May, so it's a new month, so we have a new candle. So this is our new candle with Lakshmi on there. And so we're going to light that. This candle really does smell. I wish you guys could smell it because it really does smell amazing. Sometimes my torch is a little too much, believe it or not. Candles got just a little wick on there. Alright, so we've got our candle lit. And so we'll smudge a little bit this morning. It was really kind of dark and gloomy in here again. It's, you know, even though it's May, it's still kind of our April rainy season. So it's very dark and gloomy and cloudy outside this morning. So I did put out a few lights in the background, but it doesn't really, I didn't want them like right directly over my head because there's a big light in the living room, but I thought that would be too much. So I'm just gonna sage everybody. Sage my hands real quick. Nice sage right there for you. Try to get it to go past the camera there. There you go. So speaking of things that smell real good, just wanted to take a quick second and show you something I bought. Usually I do this at the end, but I've been running out of time. So I did buy a new herbal blend here for my charcoal burner. And yes, it is Seduction Herb Blend. And I don't know if I can get the camera to pick that up. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. I put it on the charcoal just the other day. It's not real strong smelling, but it is nice. It's just very flowery. I can try to read what's in it for you. Damiana, I think is ginger root, rose petals, lemongrass, saffron, and mugwort. So that is what is in there. I think it was like $14, but it's a good size tin, and then I had like 18% off. So I don't know what it actually came to, but and the other thing is, every month in my kit that I get comes oils, and we make our own perfumes. And the last perfume I made, I absolutely positively loved it. So I actually took an empty little jar and made a little teeny version of it. And I'm going to take this and put it in my car. I don't know if you guys remember, but way back when we first started, I did a little video about the little diffuser, oil diffuser that goes in my car. So I am going to take that out and leave it in my car so I can put that on my diffuser because it smells really good. And that was bergamot and tangerine. I don't remember what the other one was now. My memory's going. I went and bought, again, just at the dollar store, a new little notebook that I'm going to stop putting my perfumes in, because a lot of times I make a perfume and somebody will say, oh, that smells really good, what's in it? And I'm like, I don't know, whatever I felt called to put in it that day. But oh no, knocked my crown off. Well, guess what, crystals are still on. Yeah, I just, whatever I feel called to, but then the problem is if I ever decide I want to go back and try to make it again, I don't remember what's in it. One of the ones that I did at Christmas time, gingerbread, was amazing. and I had like 5 things in it, and I can't remember. It was vetiver and ginger root and patchouli and cinnamon, and I can't remember. I know there was like 5 things in it, and I can't remember. So I'm gonna have to start writing them down if I want to try to make them again. But anyway, today we are talking about manifesting. The reason we're talking about manifesting today is because I love numerology, so I love to kind of go along with all the numerology things. We've talked a little bit about numerology. There is a video somewhere about numerology in there. I did let you guys know that all my videos stay in the group, but the thing is you've either got to really scroll through to find them all, because they are labeled. Because if you go to the video section and try to look at them, they're not labeled, which I think is stupid, because you're just looking at like 50 videos of my face, and you have no idea which video is which video. So that's not very helpful. Facebook, fix it, Facebook. So I did start a YouTube channel, which there is a link in the group that'll take you to the YouTube channel. And there you can pull up all the videos, and they are labeled there. So you can go right in and find the one that's about numerology or whatever it is that you're looking for. The Beltane one from last week, I can't get it to load up to YouTube. I don't know why, but all the other videos should be there. So numerology. Numerology is basically, the real quick version is finding meaning in numbers. And so 5 is a number of manifestation. So we're going to be coming up on May 5th, which is 5/5. And if you wanted to do a manifesting ritual, you would do it at 5:55. You can do that at 5:55 a.m. if you so choose. I'm going to do mine at 5:55 p.m. I am not an a.m. girl, especially not that early. But if you wanted to do a manifesting ritual, you would want to do it May 5th at 5:55. You can do a manifesting ritual at any time. There are no right time or wrong time. Just doing it on May 5th adds that extra, it's just like an extra tool to add to your tool belt. And then to do it at 5:55 is just another tool again. So you're just kind of layering the tools to make it more effective. And I'm going to just kind of go over a few ways, because you know I love to give you lists of ways to do things. You don't need to do all of them. You don't need to do any of them if you don't want to. But these are my suggestions. But before I did kind of get into my list, I did want to talk a little bit about what manifesting is and what exactly that means to me. It may mean different things to different people, but this is what it kind of means to me. Okay, so manifesting is focusing your will and your vision on a desired outcome. Okay, now what exactly does that mean? Manifesting is similar to praying, but it's a little bit more. So, not knocking any religion or anything, I'm just using it as an example. If you pray, so if you are a religious person that goes to church, you go into church and you sit or you kneel and you pray. So you could pray for good health, or you could pray for a better job, and then you leave and you've prayed, and that's, now you've kind of left it into the hands of whoever you're praying to. So manifesting kind of takes it a little bit further. It's like it's a little bit more than praying. So you are going to ask for this help. You are going to ask for these things, but then you're going to actually do some of the work that goes with it. So praying to me is like asking for a better job and then never filling out any applications, or praying for a long, healthy life and then smoking and drinking and eating Doritos for lunch every day. It's kind of like you're not really helping here. So manifesting is that little bit extra in that way. So it's if you were praying for a long, healthy life, you're going to work on manifesting it. You're going to do some of the work that goes with that. I do believe that the universe has I don't want to say fate, because I don't really think fate is the right word. We have a destination that we're supposed to get to. Now, how we get there and what we do when we get there, I believe is up to us, or we may not get there. And I believe that's part of where reincarnation comes in, is if we didn't get there, we may decide to come back. Drinking my green tea this morning. So I don't really like the word fate too much, because a lot of people think of fate as like everything in our life is fated out and that like we have no choices, and I don't really believe that. I believe we have a path we're supposed to go on, and if we kind of get off the path, somewhere in life, universe is going to put you back on the path and give you the choice again, and you may veer off the path again, but then it's going to come back to you again. And the universe is going to keep kind of giving you little nudges like you're not right where you're really supposed to be, and it'll be up to us to choose that. So again, I don't really like the word fate, but manifesting is helping your prayer along. It's doing a little bit more. So if you're praying for a better job, you may be doing online classes. You may be networking. You may be filling out job applications, to kind of help that along. You're not just waiting for your God or whoever you prayed to have somebody walk up to you and go, I have an amazing job for you that's going to pay you tons of money. Come work with us. Because, believe it or not, that did happen to me. In a bar, of all places, somebody came up to me and they're like, you looking for a job? I'm like, yeah. They're like, come see me. I'll get you going. So it does happen, but it's very rare. I wouldn't recommend waiting for that to happen. All right, so manifesting. So there are lots of things you can do that are kind of the helping part of the manifesting. Manifesting rituals are pretty simple. It's you don't need to make it a big thing. You can if you want to. You can do all kinds of things, which I'm gonna kind of go over a little bit of different things you can do at different times, or you can incorporate all into a ritual. So like Sunday, right? Because Sunday's the 5th. I don't have my calendar here. I don't know what day the 5th is. Yeah, Sunday I think is the 5th. Anyhow, I am going to try to do a ritual on 5/5 at 5:55. Hopefully that will work out and be able to be done. But if not, I am going to at least do it on the 5th. And, like I said, it can look different to a lot of people how you do it. If you just want to take a minute and sit down and, do basically a prayer, that's fine. Or if you want to do a whole thing where you could, you could do a bonfire and all kinds of stuff, or you could just light a candle. But let's go over that. Okay? So these are things you can do for manifesting. Now, this is kind of things you can do all the time. Or, like I said, you can incorporate them into the ritual themselves. There's lots of different rituals you can do. You can make a honey jar. You could make a medicine bundle. You could just make an offering of some sort. And there's different things you can do to offer, and for me, I would do an offering to Gaia, and I would most likely make something and bury it, which is what we're going to actually do for my Beltane class that I did not do last night. But that's okay. I'm still going to do it, even though I didn't do it on the actual day. I'm still going to make my little offering and bury it. But so there are lots of different rituals that you can do. At some point, we will go over maybe a couple of those different rituals. We've talked a little bit about making a medicine bundle. And so if you were manifesting, you would, depending on what you're trying to manifest, would depend on what you're putting in the bundle. Same with the honey jar, depending on what you're trying to manifest, whether it's love or money or a career or success. There would be different things that you would be using. So to go over everything for a ritual is kind of hard to do because it depends on what you're trying to manifest to give you suggestions of what you need. If you are going to try to do a manifesting ritual, or if you're going to do a manifesting ritual and you need some help knowing what it is that you need, you can certainly comment below, or you can send me a private message, email, text message, whatever is easiest for you. I don't really care. And let me know what you're trying to manifest. And then I can individually help everybody with what it is that they would want to have. All right. So number one is you really have to believe. That is like the number one thing for me. If you, even with praying, so whether you're manifesting or praying, or if you're into the Wiccan and witchcraft, it would be casting is another word, or spell work, depending on what terminology you want to use. It's really all the same. You're asking a higher being for something. So whether you're praying or manifesting or spell work or casting or whatever the terminology is, you're asking a higher source, higher being for help, for assistance. But I really believe you need to do the work that goes with it. So manifesting kind of feels right for me. Because again, spell work and crafting, I'm not Wiccan. I do know a little bit about Wiccan. I've read some stuff about it, but I believe that that's a little bit more similar to praying, as if you do a spell or casting, you've done it and then you kind of just like don't really do much. You may do follow-up castings or spell work or things like that, but manifesting to me is you need to do the work that goes with it. So that's what really resonates with me, that I'm not just going to leave it out there in the hands to somebody else. I have faith in that someone else, that source for me. But I believe that, we need to kind of help ourselves as well. The path is there. Whether we stay on it or not is up to us. Whether we stand still or we move forward is up to us. And to me, manifesting, where you're helping yourself, is you're moving that forward. You're not just standing there waiting for somebody to like move the path for you or move you 10 spaces, pick you up, move you 10 spaces. You get to pass go, collect $200 kind of thing. So you really need to believe, though, that what you're trying to manifest, you believe that your higher source is going to help you. You believe that you are going to help you, and you believe that it is really going to come to light. If you pray and don't really believe, then what's the sense? If you don't believe. Manifesting to me too is a lot of the believing is just setting yourself in the right frame of mind. We've talked about all different kinds of things that for the right frame of mind. So one of the things was the example I used was for love. If you're very like, love's never going to happen, everything bad happens to me, I'm horrible, you know, nobody's going to love me kind of stuff, and that Mr. Right or Mrs. Right is coming across the room to talk to you and hears all that negative, they're going to turn around and walk right away, because you're pushing that out. If they're coming at you and you're talking about how you just did something great and you did something exciting and you just maybe wrote a poem or you did a piece of art, or you know, and you're talking about all these positive great things in your life, they're going to be like, oh hell yeah, I want some of that, and they're going to come to you. Is the easiest version of how I can explain it. But the vibe, the energy that you're putting out is what is going to come back to you. So if you're just putting out negative Nelly vibes, then you're not going to get positive people in your life. If you're putting out that positive vibe, then you're going to attract those positive people. When you start putting out that positive vibe, those negative people are kind of like, I don't want to be around her, which is fine because they're negative. And if they're not going to come up to your level, which they might, the negative people around you, when you start putting out a positive energy, they may raise their energy and come up and meet you and travel with you, or they may not. But manifesting is that whole vibe. It's that whole frame of mind. You need to be in the right frame of mind for this stuff to happen. You can ask, you can ask for good health, but if you don't believe that you're ever going to have good health, then you're probably not going to ever have good health. Because the power of the mind and the power of the energy that you're raising is really the key to it for me. Other people may have different opinions, and that's okay, but that's my opinion. I just like to put those out there because, you know, different people do have different opinions than me. Mine may not be right to them, but it is right for me. May not resonate with you, and that's okay, because my advice is you know, for my classes is you can take all of it or some of it or none of it, but most likely if it's none of it, you're probably not watching my videos anymore. So number one is really important. You just have to believe. Even if you don't believe in a higher source, then you need to believe in your inner self, and you can manifest and for your inner self, which we'll get to that a little bit. But so number two is use tools to help you. So there are gemstones, obviously. There are candles. There are essential oils that you can use. Like I said, just mentioned that you could do a medicine bundle. You could do a honey jar. You could do an offering. I got a little thing started here. I've got a little cardboard box that some jewelry came in, and I have a little ribbon. I don't know what else I'm gonna try to get some dried flowers that I had at work. Somebody threw out flowers, and hi Winna, how are you, Nina? Yeah, so I have some dried flowers. Somebody threw out some flowers at work, and I'm in the kitchen in the garbage with the lid open, snipping little buds off because I've got them and I wrapped them up and they're drying now. So they're gonna go in my Beltane offering. So yeah, I was stealing flowers out of the garbage at work the other day. But you know, I was like, I want these flowers. I want to put them in my offering. And they were still really kind of good. They didn't really need to be thrown away, but I would, if it wasn't in the garbage, I would have taken the whole bundle and dried them, but it was in the garbage and it was kind of yucky. But I did take I took my scissors and just cut some of the ones that were on the top of the flower bundle. But so you can add flowers, anything like that. But yes, you can do all kinds of different manifesting, I don't want to say kits, but like crafting, I guess, is a good word. So if you wanted to work with gemstones, you could work with quartz. Quartz is always a good one. You could work with some yellow apatite. I have a little piece here. It's very little. Little piece right here. You can't really see it, but it is yellow. And then Oh my goodness, it's time to go, and I haven't even got part 2 done. I haven't. Got to pick up the pace. And then if you wanted to work with some oils, you could work with, I have all my stuff. You could work with some patchouli. You could work with some frankincense, which I do have some up here. You could work with, I have some frankincense powder there, so you could work with those for manifesting. I'll keep that handy because I'm probably going to want that. And if you wanted to use a candle, you could use green or gold. And I've showed you guys this before. I got this off Amazon. It was $10 for this, and it comes with all these little candles. So when I'm doing my different rituals, I have the candles. So I don't really have gold, but there is like a yellow one in there. So I may use the green and the yellow one. You can see I started to use the pink one, but I didn't use it all, so I put it back in. But yeah, you got 20 candles on Amazon for like $9.99. So they're perfect for if you just want to use a colored candle for something. So you don't need to go out and buy like 20 expensive candles. You can just buy little candles. That's all you need. I'll just show you. You can also get the beeswax ones, and you can get them in different sizes. So I have a green beeswax candle. You can't really see that it's green, but it is, trust me. Or you can get them in like really big sizes. So those are some of your options. This is my little kit for my honey jar class that I'm going to do. So there's a jar. The jar's full of different stuff. I got to take it all apart. And then there's my little oil in there. So it came all ready for me to do. But I always add my own little things to it as well. All right. So tools was number 2. Number 3, hold the vision. So what does that mean, hold the vision? So I talked a little bit the other day about when you're manifesting, you want to picture what it is you want. And then you have to picture how you feel when you have that. So picture yourself in, I don't know, you can do it however. Be realistic though. If it's a really big goal, maybe put it out a year or 2 years, or if it's a smaller goal, you could in a couple of weeks. But put yourself in the future and that you have what it is that you want to manifest, and think about how that makes you feel now that you have it. So think about the joy, think about the peace, think about the ease, whatever it is, or love if you're trying to manifest love. So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, think about being actually that person in the future and how you feel. And now, so hold the vision is kind of like every day, take a few minutes and kind of go back to that. Hold that vision, keep it with you. It's hard. We have busy lives. We have jobs, we have kids, we have pets, we have grandkids, we have groceries to get, we have dinner to cook. But try to take a few minutes every day and come back to that, that vision of you in the future and how you feel now that you have what you want to manifest. That is going to help keep you moving forward, thinking about how happy you will be when you have whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. Is going to keep you on the right path. It's going to keep you moving forward. Trust the process. To me, that meaning is a little tricky, because it's not, to me, that doesn't mean trust the process that you've done the manifestation and that, oh, did I do it right? Did I not do it right? That's not what I mean by trust the process. Trust the process is now you've done your ritual, you're holding your vision, you've worked with your tools. Maybe, just quick note, maybe when you're trying to hold that vision, if you're taking that few minutes, you could light one of those green or yellow or gold candles for a minute. But trust the process is more for me, means like if you're trying to manifest a better job and you've decided, well, to get a better job, I need to go back to school. I need to take this course or whatever it is. And then you're like, I don't have the money for that. I'm going to try to get financial aid. Maybe you don't get financial aid. That does not mean you're on the wrong path. It does not mean that you've messed up or anything. It just means maybe there's something you need to do first. Maybe the timeline, I don't really like the word timeline either, because timeline makes everything seem very like chronological, but maybe there's something you need to be working on, something you need to do before you take the course that's going to get you the better job. So if you get to step 2 and it's not happening, maybe you need to go back and reevaluate step 1. So does that make sense? Am I making sense? I'm trying to rush now because I want to get this all in and I have to leave for work. But yes, if something is in your way, if something comes up and is stopping you or blocking you, it doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. It doesn't mean that you messed up. It just means that maybe you need to go back and you missed something that you need to work on before you can get past that. So maybe there's something you need to do first, get something else in order, and then maybe in 6 months you apply and you get the financial aid, or you get a grant or a scholarship, or who knows what it could be. But just because you don't get it right away doesn't mean that you need to scrap everything and start over. It just means you need to go back and figure out something that you missed. So that's what trust the process means for me. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to those Debbie Downers. There are always, always, always going to be people that tell you you can't do that, or that is stupid, or why would you want to do that? Because I want to. That's all that matters. I don't care. Sometimes we got to bring out our little inner warrior a little bit and just be like, I don't care what you say. This is what I want to do, and I'm going to make it happen. And when I make it happen, I'm going to turn around and go, to you. That's not very nice. But so don't listen to those naysayers, those Debbie Downers out there. They are most likely doing it out of jealousy. They don't want to see somebody succeed. They don't want to see somebody have something better than them. And even though they won't do anything to change their lives or make their lives any better, they just don't want anybody else to have anything better than them either. So, but again, as you raise your vibration, as you put out those positive vibes, those people are going to kind of fall off. They're going to kind of go away and go somewhere else. The next one is don't be your worst critic. And again, that kind of goes back to like number 4 of trusting the process. Don't get in your head. Don't overthink things. I'm always overthinking everything. I think of like 500 million things that could go wrong, and I have a plan for all of them, even though probably none of them will ever go wrong. But that's the way my brain works. But we tend to, we get partway through a project or a manifestation or a goal, whatever the terminology you want to use. And, maybe something again happens that kind of sets us back a little bit. And then we start to think, am I really supposed to do this? I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Don't do that. If there's something you want, go get it. Don't be your own worst critic, because that's what happens. We can kind of fluff off the Debbie Downers, the naysayers, and we can put ourselves back in the right frame of mind. But when we start criticizing ourselves, it's very hard to come back from that. It's very hard to pep talk yourself out of being critical of yourself. So, that's a good time to have people around you that are supportive. But really, it is you need to believe that what you're trying to manifest is what you really want. Now, just a side note, because I have so much time to do side notes. If you set out for a goal and halfway through the goal, you realize that, all right, well, this is what I thought I wanted, but now that I've learned more about it, it's kind of not really what I want anymore. I've learned a little bit more, and now I want this. That's okay. You can change your mind if that's what you want to do. Just don't change your mind because it's too hard or because people told you can't do it. But as you learn and grow, if you change your mind, that's okay. Maybe you started out asking, I'm just going to go back to the better job. Maybe you started out asking for a better job, and maybe along the way, you realized, I don't want a better job. I want my own business. Awesome. Go for it. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe you started out asking for your own business, and as you learned all the things that need to go into it and all the things you need to do and that you may need funds and all these other things, maybe you thought, well, don't let that stop you. If that's truly what you want, don't let it stop you. But maybe you've decided that that's just too much for you. Maybe, because maybe you have a family and you realize after that starting your own business is going to mean you can't be with your family much. I'll use that example instead of too much money, because if it's too much money, you need to manifest that money. So it may be a time thing. It may be this to have my own business is going to take me too much away from my family, and that's not what I want right now. So I'm going to go for a better job. And then you can revisit your own business maybe later. So it's okay to make changes. Just don't make the changes because somebody's talked you out of it. Okay? Then meditate again. So again, that's just going back to that holding the vision. If you can do that for like 5 minutes every day, you can simply do it when you get in bed. Lay down in bed and set a reminder on your phone or a sticky note next to your bedstand or whatever that says hold the vision, meditate. If there's a keyword for you, success, love, whatever it is, that's going to remind you when you get in bed every night to kind of do that 5 minutes of that meditation of holding the vision. Or again, you could set that time and light your little candle. So you could light your little candle for 5 minutes every day. Even if you are somebody who you're going to light your candle and you're going to sit and have your cup of tea, and while you're having your cup of tea, you're going to think about it. That can be a meditation. Watching a candle flame is very soothing. It's very relaxing. But just remember to hold your vision while you're doing it. And create, how do I want to say this? Create your own vision. Like, don't be, I want a loving relationship, a loving marriage, I'll use. And don't go off visioning somebody else's relationship. Because what makes another couple happy may not make you and your partner happy. So don't try to go off someone else's. You can use them as examples. You can use them as references. You can kind of be like, their marriage is what I want. Their happiness is what I want. But try to make it a little bit unique. Try to make it between you and your partner. Because what necessarily makes, my parents are married still. They've been married, I don't even know, going close to 50 years. But what necessarily makes them a happy marriage may not necessarily be what makes me and Eric have a happy marriage. So even though the goal may be the same, to have a very happy marriage, that's going to look different for us. So just remember to kind of, you can use references, examples in your vision that you're doing, but just try to make sure that you're remembering it's for you and your partner if you're doing love, or for a job. Maybe you have somebody at your office that you're like, oh, they're going to retire and I want their job. But that doesn't have to be the same, even though it's the same job. It doesn't have to look the same. You may do it differently than that person did it. I don't know if that's making sense, hopefully. You can do the same job and do it differently and get it done. You may have a better way to get it done than they did. So that's kind of, just make it yours, make it personal, make it what fits for you. And then lastly is just really keep your vibe high. Make sure that you're staying positive. Make sure that the energy that you're putting out is positive. And if you feel like you're starting to kind of go into that naysayer, that inner critic, anything like that, try to reach out to your higher self. Try to hold that vision. Try to, that little inner voice that says, you can do it, because you have it. We've tuned that one out. We're all about listening to this one on this shoulder that's like, you can't do that. You don't deserve that. You'll never get that. But you have this one over here that says, you can do this. You deserve it. You need to be happy. You want to be happy. You can be happy. So tune into that higher self, and keep that vibration up. Keep that joy and that passion and the drive to get to what it is you're trying to manifest. So hopefully that all makes sense. I'm sorry the last part was a little rushed, but I do have to go to work. Unfortunately, I am not a millionaire. I can't stay here all day and talk to you guys as much as I'd love to. So yeah, so if you have any questions, again, put in the comments, send me a private message if you feel more comfortable doing that. If you are going to try to do a manifestation, if you're going to do a manifestation ritual this weekend, and you're trying to manifest something particular, which you should be, and you're not quite sure what you should be doing for that, certainly let me know. I can help you. One of the quick ways is to remember, whatever it is, if it's a job, it's connected to a chakra. If it's love, it's connected to a chakra. If it's education, it's connected to a chakra. And those chakras are all related to colors, and those colors are related to gemstones and candles and blah, blah, blah. And down the rabbit hole you go. But if you need a little help getting started, I am more than willing to do that for you. We totally did not pull a card, but I really just don't have time. I will pull it later and get a picture up there for you, I promise, because I really have to go. I have like 15 minutes now to drive to work, and it's a 12-mile drive, so that's not leaving me any time for if something happens with traffic. All right, so there's your manifestation, and I hope that all your dreams come true. And remember to be kind. Your kindness can change your day and someone else's. Thanks for watching.